Welcome to A Funny Thing Called Business. We are 4 business owners with over 30 years collective experience under our belts, sharing the capers and triumphs of running a small business and how we now avoid perilous customer chaos and pitfalls. I'm Claire Worley. We also have
Darren Angley,
Kate Curry,
Pete Morgan.
Lovely to be here, guys. So today, this is going to be an interesting one. We are talking about pet hates in business. So,
How long have we got?
I know.
we're here all week. Now this, we can either really get our rant on or just pick out a few little niggles. Let's see where it leads us.
I think it'll be the former. Strap in. It's going to be a
Let
long
me just
one.
get my soapbox.
Well, like I said, it has been over 30 years collective experience, so we've got a lot of pet hates. So let's start then, guys, with let's just get cracking straight away with what's your biggest pet hate in business right now? What are you coming across that you're like, oh my God, this is driving me nuts?
Aggressive selling. I think I must get 5-6 emails a day and what's annoying me at the moment is it's for vehicle leasing, energy prices is the other one, and clothing for my staff. And I'm like, right, I don't need any of those things. But I know if I reply and say, no, I don't need any, that will trigger off some kind of automation of, right, this is a live email account. So we can
Sell that to everyone.
Exactly.
I had that with an accountancy firm. We're emailing a local one, relatively local, and I did a background check, and they were a legitimate accountancy firm. And I just emailed their main email and said, look, just stop spamming me. So, I'm not going to choose an accountant based on a spam email. Yeah. But it didn't stop.
And it just really didn't stop.
It's that, so for me, the irritant was, I always choose email as a marketing. When people say, can we get in touch with you on email? Of course you can. Delete. That's always the easiest one.
Just send it to spam@petemorgan.com.
Yeah. But the kind of the thing that's kind of bothering me about it is the lack of research that's been done by whatever spamming company it is of, right, okay, this business, they don't have vehicles, they don't use a uniform, there's no photos of them in uniform, and it is like, right, they don't have an energy situation. They've not mentioned anywhere any of those things.
I agree with you, but I think the difference that I'm getting is I'm getting a lot of emails and I can't tell whether they're actual genuine opportunities. The emails feel really long and I'm like, there might be something in there, but I've got to do so much work in order to check if this is something I should just dismiss, or I've got to spend like 15 minutes finding out if it is just a load of rubbish. Yeah. Is anyone else getting that?
All the time, yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah.
My email address has been active
driving
for
me
so
nuts
long.
because I don't like being instantly dismissive. So I'm trying to be friendly, but it's taken me a long time to dismiss in a friendly way.
If it's something that I think I absolutely don't need that, like I say, the energy prices, clothing, that immediately gets deleted.
Yeah,
but if
same.
it's something like like marketing or
speaking at this event, that's what I'm getting a lot
It's just,
of
okay, I'll read that properly and I will spend a bit of time in it, but generally I'll read it and go, no, this is still spam. But I've given it a little bit of consideration.
Because I think a general rule is, in my mind, and see if you agree, is if you've never heard of these people before, it's going to be no good, isn't it? I think we've been in business long enough to have all the connections to know who we want to work with and who we want to collaborate with. Am I right?
Yeah. But at least with an email as well, you get a chance to think about it before you respond. But I'm getting phone calls.
God.
And as soon as they say, oh, can I speak to such and such? Like, yeah, speaking. And then they go, and how are you today? I'm like,
I just want to go. Seriously, I really just want to go.
well, I was fine. So you rang up. So I've started to say now, when they ask to speak to me, I go, oh, she's busy.
Oh, well done. Well done.
No.
Send an email if it's really important. And a lot of them just go, oh, it's fine, I'll just call back later. And then they never do. So
That's good.
the phone calls are just shocking. But
Do you then block the number? Because that's
Yeah,
something
right,
I've
I
started
block
to do.
straight away.
I need to
I block
start now.
straight away.
I do, but those numbers are easy to generate.
Yeah,
aren't they?
exactly.
So they,
Yeah, all right, sport. I mean, I'm just,
I don't want to, but it makes you feel a little better inside.
It does.
Doesn't it? You know, it's the cathartic side.
you know,
of
this
it.
is me fighting back
Block.
against the man. It's
Yeah.
not the man. It's, you know.
I think that the difference for us is we put a lot of emphasis on brand and building up that kind of a loyalty kind of thing and a whole ethos and values.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of those businesses, they'll just spam as many people as possible. Those who aren't
hope some
interested won't
sticks.
reply or will just be annoyed and delete it or whatever. If that one person in 1,000 who thinks, oh, actually, yeah, could do with some workwear for my business, I'll give them a call. That's that's it, isn't it? That's their little diamond they're going for, and they're not really bothered how it looks to the rest.
They've got one response in
They've
100
got one response,
emails,
but then the other
999
999 are like, oh god, this company I'd never touch them. But then
Yeah.
again, you're never gonna because you don't need workwear or whatever. So.
See, I came back from a holiday with 3 emails from the same company, and it did sound like there was something in the opportunity. But I was like, 3 emails. You've received my out of office 3 times.
Yeah.
Stop hounding me to death.
Yeah. Was it
Hey,
just in
come
case you
on.
missed it? Here's my email from the other day.
Have you had
Oh,
to
just
think
one last
about
chance.
it?
Here's my email.
It's
Yeah.
infuriating.
No, that's spam. Delete.
I did keep deleting it, but I thought he's just going to keep emailing me.
Just one last chance to see if you're interested.
One
in
last
delete.
chance.
I did respond today to just say I don't work with corporate companies. Sounds brilliant that you've had Pepsi on your books, but I'm not interested in working with Pepsi.
Yeah. I love that. One last chance.
Oh, Pepsi are gutted right now. If you're listening, Pepsi. Sorry.
Pepsi, do one.
That should be their new slogan. Yeah. I love it.
I feel like we actually now I've got started.
Here we go.
Yeah, I know.
This is it.
See,
now.
can I tell you what else is really bugging me?
Go.
What have we started here?
Instagram.
Okay.
So, I'm getting a load of stuff from Instagram in my feed that I'm like, who are these people? What's this about? I'm not interested. I don't follow you. I don't want to watch people dancing in reels. People dancing I don't even know. I'm like, why is Instagram feeding me all this rubbish? What have I done?
It's a bit like Facebook's like that as well.
Facebook
isn't
is very
it? It's
much
their linked on there.
A friend of mine just started calling it Facegram, and I'm like, is this? Does everyone else know Facegram?
It's all one brand, isn't
I know,
it?
but I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
They're just doing the same thing. It's rubbish.
It is. And usually you open up your feed or whatever, the first thing's an advert, the next thing's something completely random. It's like, what point do you give up?
Or things that you've been talking about recently.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what gets me.
I know.
And I don't
Oh,
know.
I-
We've
yeah.
spoken about this.
Yeah, we
before,
have,
haven't we?
yeah. And that really freaks me out
know.
when you're just like, you're talking about something really random. I'm sure like my husband was talking about something to do with like something really obscure.
Just be
like,
very
like,
careful what you're about to give away
was
now,
he
Kate.
talking about,
Well, I think
Kate?
he had like a sort of a poorly like ankle or something, and he
She's
was-
absolutely changed that body
A
part.
poorly
She
what?
has changed that body part. It was not an ankle.
in inverted commas, and then all these things started coming up for like leg supports and prosthetic limbs and whatnot. It's like flipping
Brilliant.
heck, and it's like that's too random to be coincidence. That these
Yeah.
things are coming up.
I mean, your device is absolutely listening to you,
Yeah.
and in some ways, I get that. And I think that's good because you're kind of like, okay, it is going to present me with the stuff that I want to see. So it's not so because I was being bombarded with adverts for a German IT company, and I'm like, I don't even know how this has got on my feed. I don't speak German, and I don't need IT. So that is what could be coming up on your feed, which really is like, I just don't want to see this. This isn't something I'm interested in at all. So it's,
Yeah. So let's talk about perhaps some of the pet hates that come up in your own business. Does anything come up with clients or inquiries or your own marketing? Let's delve into it a little bit deeper.
For me, and it's something we've spoken about in the past, it's clients not being able to tell the time. And kind of going, yeah, 8 o'clock at night is the perfect time to not email, because that's fine, because I don't check my emails after a certain time, but to text me or WhatsApp me at 8 o'clock at night and go, oh, I've been, and it's not emergencies, I get it, and that's fine. I have no problem doing that. But when they're messaging me with, I've just been thinking, what do you think about this for an image? And then sending it through, that is a little bit like, and there's a couple of clients I've had to say, that's not what I do. And difficult, I've got clients in America and I take that into consideration. But clients who are in the UK messaging me at 8 o'clock at night, it's like, right, okay,
No.
office is closed now. I'll
So,
deal with it in the morning.
how do you respond?
At first, I would start getting into a conversation about
Yeah.
it. Oh, okay, yeah, no,
'Cause
that
you were
works,
new
that's
and all
fine.
fresh behind the
Absolutely.
ears, weren't you?
Now I'm all cynical and grizzled. And it's all,
You're like, get off my phone. I'm
Leave it.
watching Netflix.
leave it. Don't make me get a personal phone and a business phone. Don't make me have a burner phone. So it has, there's a couple of them that I will kind of, and sometimes stupidly, if I'm watching, if we're sat of an evening and we're watching something that my wife prefers to me, and I'm thinking, well, I'm not really paying attention to
No,
this. It's nice.
Pete, never
Yeah.
respond.
Okay, fine.
Never respond.
I've
Because you
got-
can't complain
See,
then.
that's what Take That should have been singing about. Never respond to a WhatsApp message. That's what they should have been doing.
I was just going to say, there's a good. This isn't funny in the least, but I've got a good
Oh, shut up
solution
then.
to that. But
Go
we
on.
have like a landline number that rings an app, and you set office hours.
Hold
and
on,
then
hold on,
And then
Kate.
it doesn't ring outside of it.
For our listeners under 35, landline number.
Yeah.
What are you
What's
talking
that?
about?
I don't think I've got a landline number on my website.
Okay. Next question.
Watch me BT share prices. Landline numbers are still helpful. They're still useful.
Nice. Well done.
Right, yes.
Darren, what's
Um,
your pet hate? What's your beef in your business?
Oh, probably paying tax. That's probably the biggest one. God, get rid of that.
HMRC.
Oh, no, yeah.
Tell you. What do
But-
they know?
What do they know? But no, I think, one of the ones in the early days of my business, and probably still relevant sometimes, is that when I take on a project, I usually ask for a deposit, which I think is fair. You're going to start to build something bespoke. Normally, it was like 50%. That was my deposit amount. And whenever I came across a client who would try to negotiate that percentage, like 30% or something, the project would always just
Yeah, go pear-shaped.
go pear-shaped. Wouldn't get more than the 30% or whatever. So it was a pet hate of mine for a while until I thought, well, if they want to quibble on the 50%, then they have to find someone who's cheaper.
Nice.
Just have to kind of let it go.
Is that part of your initial screening questions now before you even
I do
go
have my
out?
screening questions. Yeah. It's not, but it's.
Are you okay with 50%? Because if not, that's that.
Well, it's
You're-
sometimes,
you're-
yeah.
It's not, are you okay? It's 50%.
50%, exactly. Yeah. And I think that's an important lesson, though, that I learnt the hard way. In that, if they're not happy to pay the 50%, then they're not going to be happy to pay 100% once it comes to the final payment. So,
That's such a huge learning curve, though, isn't it? Because we've
really
all
is.
gone through that in the early days of business. Oh, yeah, what do you want? Yeah, that's fine. I'll jump and I'll get it for you. But you have to listen to those warning signs because they are absolute alarm bells that this client is going to be a pain.
yeah. And then they'll take up more time than you
Yeah.
could be working with other clients.
They'll cost more to deliver to. It's all of that, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. I think you've got to be a little bit grizzled and grumpy
I
with
know.
sometimes, It's sort of whether they're calling you at 8 o'clock at night or whether they're quibbling over the deposit or whatever it might be. And those screening questions, all of those things you have to put in place with the business. And again, it's something that I've learned over time, but it would be nice to have started with that level of confidence, I guess, to say, look, these are the things that we're going to do. This is what you're going to have to pay. These are the hours that we work, etc., etc. And if there's any problems, then you just ditch them and run. And find a nicer client.
Totally. This episode is brought to you by Kate Hollingsworth. Kate Hollingsworth is a brand photographer specialising in colourful, story-based images that really show off the best of you and your team. With a background as a BBC TV director and over 10 years' experience as a professional photographer, Kate certainly knows a thing or two about discovering your stories, how to convey what makes you special, and how to create imagery which resonates with your ideal clients. As well as a bespoke library of images, Kate gives you a huge bonus, 30 days worth of posting prompts and ideas for using your fabulous new photos, plus a slideshow to use in your advertising. If you're in desperate need of a profile picture that actually looks like you, images that show you as the approachable, friendly team you truly are, or photographs that make your website stand out for the crowd rather than being grey, boring and old school corporate, then you need Kate Hollingsworth Photography. Connect with Kate Hollingsworth on LinkedIn and get a free audit on your website and branding to get you started today. Kate, what's one of your kind of pet hates? Do you have something that kind of comes up on a week-to-week basis in your own business?
I absolutely hate admin. Anything admin. Anything admin. Like, I really love doing what I do, but I hate the admin to the point where I have to force myself to do it.
Yeah.
What admin are you talking about?
Oh, just like reconciling bank accounts
Yeah.
and receipts, mileage, anything like that. I hate it. My accountant has to chase me all the time, like, have you done your mileage yet? And I'm like, I mean, really should track it as you go, but I can't even be asked to do that. I have to like go back through my diary at the end of the year and go like, where have I been? So I'm probably making a massive, like, even more work for myself. But I'm hoping to like sort of try and start delegating more of it, which I've started to do, but it's... But now the little bit that I do still have to do doesn't seem to do my head in even more than it did before.
Yeah.
And
I'd find that quite difficult, the delegating, because I'm the same as you, Kate, of the reconciling of kind of transactions is just like, oh goodness me, how dull is this? But you can't delegate because surely they're going to have to come to you and go, what was this for?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Yes.
This was that.
That's my thing. Yeah, totally. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm interrupting you, but yes, go on.
No,
I'm
it's
totally
absolute-
agreeing with you. Damn it.
Yeah.
Vehemently.
You can't get away from it.
Well, I've just got someone who's going to start helping me with it. And we had an initial meeting with a few things like, could you do this then? And she's like, yeah, I could. I'm like, what? And you would enjoy doing it? And she was like, yeah. Like, seriously, I was like, I feel like I'm giving you like the shittest of shittest tasks. And like, you look really delighted about it. I can't understand what people would like doing these sorts of things. But there you go. There are people out there.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
She's getting her geek on right all over it.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So thinking about these three like major pet hates with like email spam, unwanted or weird ads, and like admin that we can all agree on we don't want to do.
Yeah.
What can you learn about, how can we get past all of this so that we're not daily, weekly dealing with pet hates in our business, because we shouldn't be, should we?
I've started, and I'm going to get this name wrong. Is it the Pomodoro?
Oh.
The 45 minutes. So you set a timer for 45 minutes and work for 45 minutes and then kind of just go off and do something else. Make a cup of tea, go and stand in the garden for a little... Not if it's raining, obviously. I mean, don't
Well,
be
you can
ridiculous.
do.
Yeah, you could if you want. And I found with admin that helps because it is like, right, I'm only doing this for 45 minutes, or I'm going to do this for 45 minutes and then I've just got one more 45-minute block to do and then it's done. And I find that kind of really has helped me kind of reframe it, because, and Kate and I have spoken about this in the past about the kind of reconciliation of kind of financial transactions. It just seems to stretch out in front of you and think, oh God, could be here for days doing
But it's
this.
never done, is it? It's
No.
it's like laundry.
Yep.
It's like socks and pants.
Yeah.
It's like you never are at the end of washing socks and pants. It's the same thing.
Oh, Pete's choking to death.
What a way to go then.
Choking on socks and pants.
That's a very different way to go.
Darren, what are you going to do to get past your pet hates?
Well, for me, it always comes down to the same thing, and that's having a process to deal with things. Because if you have a process to deal with those spammy emails, if you have a process to deal with people when they call you and say, "How are you today?" which is usually just hang up, then you can deal with everything that comes along your way. And also when it comes to delegating, you've got the processes in place. Of course, I'm saying this, I don't do any of this, but I know in the back of my mind.
That's not true, is it?
I
You
do
have
do some.
processes. You
Because
do
I use
have
Trello
processes.
to help me with my processes.
See, I think I need a process round these email opportunities that come through because...
Most of them are going to be rubbish. Just delete them. And
then if it's
going to be
important,
good,
it'll come back
exactly.
to me.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you have to just throw it out to the universe and
Yeah.
say, look, if this is going to happen, then there'll be a better way.
Yeah. So it's like all the, the work on Instagram that I'm doing, which... Do you want some big news, guys?
Here we go.
I'm stopping Instagram at the end of the month.
So is this from a business point of view or a
Yeah.
personal point of view?
Business point of view.
Oh, okay. No, I'm close to that, I think. I just don't use it. And whilst I think there is an audience out there, LinkedIn, Twitter are both doing very well
Yeah.
for me. So it's like, do I need anything else at the moment?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Instagram for me, it's going to be a great thing for me to get off my plate because all I'm getting is spam on there.
Yeah.
Put it here. Do you want to, sell this for us, influencing and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, just leave me alone. Stop clogging up all my messages with a load of rubbish. I'm not interested.
So is it? Do you kind of refer to it as anti-social media?
Yes,
I don't want to socialise.
Well, with Instagram, I'm just getting a load of rubbish. It's not working for me. I've tried. I've done my best with it. I've got some great content on there, but it is not connecting with the right people.
Yeah.
So I shall be saying goodbye to it at the end of the month, and there's my accountability.
Well
I've shared
done.
it with all you guys.
Although you did say that about WhatsApp, that you're going to give that up as well.
No,
No.
I didn't.
Oh, okay. Correct me.
I said I was going to exit some groups, which I did.
Right.
Sorry, mums at the my kids' school. You can catch me at the school gates. I just won't be giving you any eye contact.
See, I always think when you leave a group, I always think of that thing because, of course, it comes up.
Yeah, I know. You're like,
know.
oh.
Exactly. Pete, because we have one. And
Yeah.
there's one for our networking group. And when someone left, it was like, oh,
Who left?
it was Karen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
she did leave the group.
Yeah,
so
no, I
that's
know.
fair.
But because that happened, but she left the WhatsApp group before the email came out that she.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah. So it was Karen Edwards has left the group. What? Goss?
Sorry,
Drama?
there's a group. What?
Oh, I'm sorry. I knew we shouldn't have said it in front of him. I'm so sorry.
So what's the biggest challenge you have now? What's the biggest pet hate you've got at the moment that you're like, look, I've got to solve this because it is really making me tear my hair out? Kate, I'm going to come to you.
Yeah, well, I think the admin is one thing, and that sort of spills over into like my inbox. My email inbox is probably my biggest. Like, I love it, but I also hate it.
Yeah.
And things are off the bottom of my screen before I've even had a chance to make a cup of tea in the morning. Sometimes,
Yeah.
with a mixture of all sorts of things in there, like there's apparently some hot babes waiting for me somewhere, and random things.
Nice.
No, brilliant.
Did you keep that one, or is it?
I'll forward it to you
Oh,
later.
fair enough, thanks.
Yeah. But it's
Kate, do you unsubscribe?
occasionally I'll be like, I'm going to have a mammoth unsubscribe,
Yeah.
and I'm sure I always tick, please don't add me to your mailing list. It
Yeah.
won't ever even get read. unless it's from somebody that I know. I just haven't got time to do it. But things still slip through. It's just
I can't believe you're
bonkers.
getting hot babes slipping through.
Well, there's the title for the episode. Sorted.
I get all sorts of really random things come through. Most of those will go into spam, but occasionally you have to check your spam. And then you're like, oh my God, where
But I
did
mean,
these
there's
come
just
from?
hundreds in spam, isn't there?
Oh.
Sometimes I'll run through, and then other times I'm like, it's 200, and then forget it, you're all getting deleted.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that dismissive. Forget it. Just delete it.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I can spend too much time dithering over stuff, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
because I don't want to offend somebody, or I want to give people the opportunity. And then I'm like, no, just delete.
Yeah.
Well, I've said I used to work for a guy when he got back off holiday. He would just delete everything in his inbox. Delete it all. He'd been
Just
away for
start
2
fresh.
weeks. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, he'd delete the past 2 weeks of emails
Yeah.
and go, listen, if it's important, they'll email back. And it's like, that is a gutsy move, my friend. That, no
And
way
to be
can I do that.
fair,
No.
well, hold on.
No. There's no hold on with that. There's no way you delete 2 weeks worth of
Well,
emails.
hold on then. Let me just set a challenge. Next time you go on holiday, just come back and just have a run through your emails and just think, what really, is important for me to deal with, and percentage-wise, how many could you get rid of? Because I've got a feeling like it would be
Yeah.
more than 50%.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
been dealt with.
Yeah.
Or, it's just moved on now,
Yeah.
time-wise. Sorry, Kate, we interrupted you.
Yeah. Oh, well, but it's all. We're obviously all having similar issues, and there's different ways you can deal with it. And I think having a mammoth unsubscribe is one
Yeah,
of them.
it
So
is
I've got to
good.
do that. And then you can have like different inboxes where you can
Yeah.
set rules.
Yes,
so
I've done
certain
a bit of
things
that.
can go into different sections, and then anything with like the word invoice can go into like things to pay or
Bin.
Or, yeah. Good shout. Yeah, so there's ways you can do it, but then that takes time, doesn't it,
I
to
know.
like work out what to do and how to set it all up and all that kind of
know.
stuff.
But it's it saves you much longer time in the long term, doesn't it?
Yes,
Like, for example, I do a lot of deleting on my phone on emails as I go.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
really, I know I shouldn't do that. If I'm on my laptop, then I'll unsubscribe properly. Never hear from you again. Instead of just keep delete. Oh, it's them again. Blooming delete. Has everybody got everything off their chest? Or is there anything?
Oh, I think this may just be a part one.
Okay, so let's bring it back to the positive then.
Yeah.
So let's share some silver linings about these pet hates. What good has come out of the annoyances? I'm going to put my hand up.
Here we go.
Well, I feel like, remember when you was in a job
Yeah.
and you couldn't do anything about those pet
Yeah.
hates? Like, for example, I used to have someone who sat next to me who had one of them big twirly kind of key things.
Oh, yeah.
He'd spend all day doing this,
No.
just twirling it
Twirling
in
it
the
over
air.
his head?
Just twirling it like that in the air. And I was
What?
like sat here and I used to have to kind of like do a bit of ducking all day, twirling like when he's on the phone, just chatting. Couldn't do anything about that.
you got to hide his keys.
And I nearly strangled him with them, with his twirly things.
It's like a really muscular finger. I'm not doing that all day. Every day.
Yeah, some kind of aerobic
Okay,
exercise.
okay,
Yeah.
I don't know about that. So at least in our world, we can change the pet hate, so we can work out, right, what can we do to alleviate? Darren, what about you? What are your silver linings?
Well, that was a good. I mean, I can certainly relate to that. That at least all the pet hates of having your own business can be alleviated by the fact that at least you're not having to work for someone else. Probably being my own boss, it's probably all the inappropriate touching that's the most troubling. But aside from that,
Of yourself.
no, there's lots of positives. And
Let's hope it's of himself, because
I know, that's what I was thinking.
He has got a
I don't want it to doing that there either.
What you do in your home office, in your own time, is up to you.
Just on all future Zoom calls, make sure hands are on show at all times, please.
We want to see Jazz hands. That was Jazz.
Oh my goodness.
Kate, what are the silver linings?
I'm not sure I can bring this back round now. Silver linings. I totally agree that we are like completely in control of our own destinies as business owners, and I really love that. But sometimes it's like knowing how to do that. But I think some delegating is probably one of the biggest things for me. And like one of my pet hates was scheduling my social media posts, and I used to hate doing that. And now someone does it for me.
Yes.
It's wonderful.
And isn't it brilliant then,
Yeah.
seeing all your lovely content just appearing like magic?
I know. I even had a phone call from somebody, and I was expecting it to be like and how are you today? But no, it was just somebody who rang, like somebody I knew, but I hadn't spoken to for a while, just saying how amazing my social media was looking. And I was like, thanks, but what's on there? What did you say? No, I do know what's going out there, obviously. But it's just really nice that's one thing, one headache. That, we have a meeting, what we're going to put out that month, and then that's that, and it all just happens, and it's
done.
wonderful. Yeah, so that's a silver lining for me, massively. So I've got a whole list of other things I need to start delegating.
Yeah.
So I can next time when we have part 2, I won't have any pet hates. I'll just be
No.
slowly silenced when you ask me that question. I'll be like, no, it's all good.
Brilliant.
We should definitely do the flip episode of pet loves. Of kind of, stuff that we just love about what we do. Because we do. We're not here kind of going, I hate what I do. Like when you worked for someone.
Yeah.
And there was that, I hate what I do. Because we were all kind of cockneys when we worked for someone. So, and for me, it was, because my first one was the aggressive selling. And it was, because I came across it relatively early on of me kind of working for myself or being a business owner. And it really illustrated that isn't the way to do it. That isn't the way to get yourself out there and establish yourself as someone who knows what they're doing. That kind of aggressive, almost kind of blanket emailing or blanket messaging as well. Listen, everyone, if you're going to connect with people on LinkedIn, don't send them a sales message 4 seconds after you've connected with them. How about that? Do that.
I know.
So it's that has taught me that's not the way to do it. So that's my silver lining, is it's given me that kind of knowledge. Really.
Yeah, it's really easy, isn't it, when you're sitting behind your desk to kind of go into a bit of the same mode sometimes, so forgetting that there's somebody real on the other side of this receiving it. How's it coming across? Ah, lovely guys. I feel so much lighter now, do you?
Breathe.
I'm breathing with the love, out with the hate. Okay, listeners, thank you. Please share, subscribe, and give us a shout out. Please, we'd love to hear your pet hates and pet loves as well. But share so fellow business owners can enjoy, be inspired, and always keep focused on the fun side of business too.
She meant to say jizz.
This has been a Monkey Pants Productions podcast.